Thanks for tuning into the channel. I've been talking about doing this for a while. Just because he's been helping me recover from the linear programming, which has wrecked my knees. So before anything else starts unbuttoning and unraveling, we want to stop this right in its tracks and start the road to rehabbing and prehabbing, and that's where this gentleman comes in. Matt Wenning is my coach. I'm doing conjugate training, which is making me actually stronger and keeping me healthier and preventing injury down the road. I'm not prepping for a meet. I'm power building, recovering, focusing on weaknesses and exploiting the hell out of them so that maybe about a year from now, I can start heading towards the platform again. Because it's a slow road to strength, but while you're working towards that, you better know what you're doing, because he's helped me recover from, with just a little bit of what he does, recover from a tsunami of pain that I had no idea that was going to show up, and it all showed up. And what's that phrase that you said? You never had pain until you do. Until you do. So with that being said, thanks for being on my channel and on my LinkedIn. This is Larry Sanders. Larry, introduce yourself.
All right, so what we're going to do right now is real slow. I want you to come raise this thing up, right? So when you come up, where I'm pressing is a dimple right here. I want you to flex this muscle as hard as you can to push my thumb out of this dimple. It's hard, right? You get the pressure across the kneecap. You feel that? Okay. Now I'm going to straighten you out here. Relax. So I'm going to try to give you a little bit more slack here. Hold you correct. And then kick up. Still across the knee.
I feel it over here.
Back there, right?
Right, like right center.
So the first thing, what I would focus on today as far as fixing your knee, is we're going to go to your ankle.
Okay.
Right? So if your ankle goes here, right?
Yeah, and as you turn it there, I can feel
the pain
inside. Yeah, right.
So, but if I open it, there shouldn't be.
No, there
The
is.
pain's gone.
Right.
So now we know the adhesion and the tension is coming from down low.
Okay.
Right? Which is one of the things we talked about before, is getting some of this ankle mobility. And once we get this going, now I can block that, come up here, and now knee raise.
Oh, wow.
So the knee pain's not there. Now
No,
it's a straight muscle thing.
Yeah, it's not even that though. It's like, yeah, that's gone.
So
So
what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to allow that kneecap to kind of slide in its natural slide here. And then that way this muscle fire. So, as with most people I work with, the knee pain's not in the knee, it's somewhere else. So we're just keep going up and down. You notice my hand is sliding up your thigh a little bit here, right? So we're actually giving that a little bit more room, right? Go ahead, try to flex it. Feels a little more free.
oh yeah.
A little bit better, right?
Yeah.
So now we know, now we can activate this a little bit. Typically this will take, let's say a lot of the basketball teams I work for, I get a timeout to kind of fix one of these, but to fix it long term, to fix it right, and do these kind of things, it's just manual quads, right? So if you're doing manual quads, you have it in your program, this kind of stuff will kind of fix itself. So what do? I give you these ankle mobility things, I give you these manual quad things, everything kind of starts not fixing itself, but that's my business model, right? Get you guys healthy so you can fire me. Push it up. Still getting a little stress here? No?
No, not really. I don't feel it. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how to describe what I'm feeling, but it's just
like
in here, but it's not like a pain or anything. I think I'm just more aware now.
You are more aware, like if we talk about these two pulleys, right? So we have this pulley here, right? You get any relief when I pull it out on this? Stretch it? Yes, no?
I don't really feel like any relief feeling, but I can feel that
pressure here.
Yeah,
pain.
that's not pain.
Now curl your leg up under.
No
curl.
pain. Oh, under here.
Curl. Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit of tightness there.
There's a little bit of tightness, but the tightness is dissipating.
So the more we get here, yeah, because basically we're straight. Every time you go back, my thumb's going to go up further. That's going to give that kneecap a little more room to move.
Okay.
Like this kind of real basic. This is what a foam roller does.
Okay.
Right? It's what tempering does.
Okay.
Thompson genius.
I see.
But the main thing I end up doing for most use, once we get everything in the right position, put things in the right position, then we activate the pieces that aren't going. So now we're going to focus on really kind of activating this. So, I know you didn't put me on video to do a magic trick, but I'm going to make my thumb disappear, and you're going to push back out of the hole, okay? So you're going to come up, okay, drive, push, hard, good, take it back, push up, I'm going to give you some resistance here, no pain in the knee, right?
Nope.
Good. And push. A little bit slower, so it takes a little bit of a time for this pressure to get to the brain. A little bit slower, a little bit less.
A little bit slower,
Let's
go
go
slower.
5 seconds up, okay?
Go on.
Yep. Go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Go down. Go up. And this does not feel good. You sometimes start swaying in different places. Go push. Good. Rest. If you look at it, look at your knees. Boom. You have a lot more range now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is the best thing with the camera stuff is I forget we're on camera and we can just do what we need to do.
Okay.
So now this IT band is loose.
Yeah.
This would be a good time for like the tempering stuff.
Okay.
You wanna go right foot down, and I'm gonna have you step the left foot forward. Yep, so it's just gonna be opposite. You put your whole foot on the plate. And that's it, right? That's it. So this time we're just gonna go right foot in the middle, take your left foot, step, and we're gonna hold it. Just hold this position. That's it. We're just going to try to hold maybe 10, 20 seconds. So it's funny, our balance and everything, how it leads into mobility, flexibility, power transfer, max strength, you name it, it pretty much starts down here on the feet. All right, good. Let's switch sides. You're going to go other foot, so left foot in the back, step forward to the right. We're just going to try to hold, right? There it is. Remember we talked about this part of the calf is really pulling his kneecap over. Kind of fix it a little bit over there. Fix is a strong word, but every day fix it a little bit better. Good. So big strong guys, we're going to go ahead and do that same thing. Right foot, same position where you're facing, where you just were. Yep. We want to work on this slide. I was talking about this tension above and below, say pulley wise, right? So big strong guys, we usually have tight QLs, IT bands, all that kind of stuff. So while we're in a long position here, we're using that fascia, using gravity, right? There's a few things that are very center is the axis you work around, the center of your mass and gravity. Those things are always here, so we can use those to work. But now we're going to kind of elongate and stretch out that line so he can transfer and translate the force. Good. Switch side. This side's a little bit easier, right? Yeah. So this side's a little bit easier, but his center of mass is still pretty much the same. His axis is still the same. It's just your right side is closer to the axis. Right? Your axis is a little bit more to the right side.
I can feel that right side where the hand is.
Yes.
Starting to climb up.
Yep. So what we can do is straighten out this heel a little bit. Yep. We'll go further. Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Yep. And so, okay.
So then it goes now.
Yeah, it's a lot better. But what we have to do to make sure it doesn't go away is get everything to F out of the way. Okay? That's a medical term. Get everything to F out of the way so you can fire properly. So now we're going to elongate this line. But notice your head wants to go down right away. You know why that is? Okay, your trap wants to get overactive. So your head goes down. This happened a little bit in your squat when we first looked at it. But your trap will fire, which will kind of improve your back. There's your compensation. And then reach this hand to the sky. And then have your eyes straight ahead. So now we're working hip extension by putting you in a straight line. Simple stuff. Sounds good to me. Alright? Cool. That's it. Go ahead and step off. Everything's long, kind of flex it, move around, see how it goes. Now we have a little more slack to play with. Like when we're kids, it's more of a bow and arrow. Now we're more like not a bow and arrow.
And because of the way I set up for bench press, this knee's a little bit sore because of the
kick out.
Right. And as the load comes in, and I have leg drive.
More stressing. So.
Yeah, I mean, I have leg drive against the barbell coming down, and then I jog into it. So I had a little bit of aggravation because of that.
I got an idea on that. Just shinning, something you can do right before you get up. So we're going to work off the ankle flexibility, the ankle lengthening, getting everything kind of, out of the way, so you can actually translate forward. So now we have a little bit more kind of structural integrity as far as holding a position, owning the position. A lot of people have called it. But now you can actually own this position. All this is actually doing is getting you better for a normal walking gait, right? If we can get a normal walking gait, keep our gait proper, then our structure is going to be a lot stronger when our feet are stable or static. So now I'm just going to have them go up, right, up, down, right foot lead, right? We've done this with 20-second tests. Over the pandemic, I think we had about 2,000 tests, something like that. And what it is you're just always trying to beat your score. So once we're up, once we really get a groove and I feel confident taking it full speed, you will literally just go as fast as you can. Now we can see how the nervous system, where it's at, how everything's working. Because some of the compensations you'll see is if you start with, say, in the left side, you see a bunch of hip swivel and all that kind of stuff. It's going to present itself when you're underneath weight, and it's going to be amplified. All right, so you want to try that there?
Yep.
And let's just take 20 steps with your right foot up first.
Okay, right foot up.
Yep. Up, down, down. There's 1, 2, good. 3, 4. Doesn't have to be fast. 5, 6. Probably more boring than anything, but I'm seeing a lot of good stuff.
Okay. Yeah, what you're seeing.
So what we're going to do, we're going to mobilize this heel, especially the right one. That's where a lot of the knee pain presenting. Good. Go ahead, rest, shake them out. Now we're going to start with the left foot. Left foot coming up. God forbid anybody ever has ACLs or anything like this, but it's better doing this now than laying on a table doing this over a foam roller without moving, right? So we're putting mobility, we'll put speed, we'll kind of jack the nervous system on this when we start going fast. And then you can translate force. That's it.